Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Wellness Podcast. It is Brandon Wilkerson, your host, and I am excited to talk about mindfulness for us moms. Let me tell you something. It is hard it's not hard for us to be mindful. It's hard for us to be mindful in the moment because we have so many things that reside in our mental real estate, in the thing that is called our brain and our mind, things we're thinking about in the past, in the future, that it's hard to be in the moment. But the moment is where you live life. The present is where you live life. And you want you want as much as you can to be in that moment, not just for your kids, not just for people around you, but for yourself. You have a life to live that is worth living, and you have joys and dreams and hopes. And I'm always constantly thinking about the future because that's just how I'm wired. But I think kids have really helped me to be in the moment. But let's talk about this. So when I talk about this, I'm not just talking about, let's just stay in the moment. I'm also talking about stress. I'm also talking about overwhelm, because often we're overwhelmed you could be overwhelmed by the present for sure, and even the future. But I just think there's a power in being present, practicing, I homeschool our kids, and one of the habits that I want to teach them, but I'm practicing myself, is the habit of attention. And it's just being attuned to what's happening right now, but also particularly when they're learning and when we're reading, it's what am I listening to? What's going on? And it's really the practice and the power of presence, really focusing on the now, right? And sometimes we're like kids, there's so many things to do. We're thinking about this, we're doing that, and that's okay. But I think when we're constantly everywhere or doing all the other things besides where we're at, and when we're constantly overstimulated, constantly thinking about so many things, we can't fully be rested and in the moment. Now, what can keep you from being mindful? Again, stress, overwhelm, kids asking for multiple things at one time, multiple kids asking for multiple things at one time. If you work, and that has its own challenges, coming home and having to do dinner and reset for school the next day and, cook and clean and help with homework. There's just all these things we got to do, and they're all beautiful, but they can be hard and overwhelm. So how do we reduce overwhelm and be more mindful and present and more at rest? These 3 things help me. Okay, I'm going to tell you these 3 things, but as a reminder, this is part 3 of a 5-part series on this podcast, all about resetting and recharging. So these go along with my 21-day reset and recharge challenge, which is a simple challenge and guide, 5 daily habits you can do in 10 minutes or less, or you can take more time in each if you would like. And really to help center you, reset you, recharge you, and take care of you almost holistically. Right? Well, yes, holistically. And so the first, we talked about hydration and what that does for your brain, your body, your mood. Second, we talked about movement and what that does for your brain, your body, and mood, and simple ways to move more and really redefining what movement is. And then today we're talking about basically kind of it's talking about mindfulness, reducing overwhelm, but basically this is also something around resting and stress and sleep. And we all know we need to sleep more and rest more, but I think what we need to really pay attention is that mental, right? And so, there's 2 autonomic nervous systems that go on in our body. There's the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, and the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight. We're stressed, and there are times you need to be stressed. If you see a car coming at you, a lion coming at you, you got to move, girl. You got to move. But I think because of the access to information, the amount of things that we can do in a given day, if you're like me, I'm always doing more than I probably actually can handle in a given day. And it's not that I can't handle it. It's just I can't handle it and be a kind human being and be present and not run around anxious. And so what I often have to do is reset and recharge by getting back to my parasympathetic. And this is your rest and digest response, right? Now, there's hormones involved with both of these systems that when you're constantly stressed, it messes with your other hormones and can cause an array of health issues. Now, if you want cortisol, by the way. You want your body to be like up and ready to go when it needs to go, but you also want melatonin. You also want to be able to relax. So you also want to feel good, all these different things. And I think what I'm talking about here, it hints at these nervous systems, but particularly how your mind can really guide these. And so often we are so overwhelmed or stressed, but really we need to be in more of a state of rest. And how do we get our minds there so that we can live the full life we want and not let moments pass us by? And these are the three things that help me. 1, brain dumping. In any given moment, if I have a lot of things that I'm thinking or like a loop that's going in my head to like process things, I will pull out my apps, the note on my phone, and brain dump it. Brain dump my to-do list, brain dump thoughts, whatever. If I am around it with paper and pen, write that down. And just get it out. Get it out so that I don't have to worry about forgetting it. I don't have to worry about completing the thought or figuring it all out, but I can pick up from where I left off and I can focus on the moment. Often I have to tell my kids, hey, give me a moment. I say this all the time. Mommy needs a moment. Mommy needs a minute. Just let me figure this thing out. The second is breathing. Literally pausing, and rather than responding a certain way or freaking out a certain way, or like even when after I brain dump it, I'm still like, I will say, I'm going to take some breaths. And that is what it does physiologically. The brain dumps helps mentally, but what the breath work does physiologically is literally force your body to go from a state of moving and fight or flight to a state of rest and digest. And this is why I get it now after 3 kids. Like, this is why in labor, they're like, breathe. And you want to look at the midwife or the nurse and be like, what? But she knows what she's talking about. She's trying to tell you, like, literally by breathing and resting, your body's going to do what it needs to do in a better way. It's just going to happen better, And so there's power to breath work in resetting our body, stopping the state of overwhelm physiologically, but also mentally. All right. And then the third is moments of silence. Now, let me tell you, this is hard for me as a mom of 3 who homeschools my kids. They're home, they're at different stages. Naps rarely happen at the same time. Quiet time rarely happens at the same time. But what I have found, as much as I can, that when I do have that moment, seizing it, or if I could, just a little bit of time in the morning before they wake up, a little bit of time in the evening, and not just like quiet and doing things that actually don't fill me. Doing things that fill me, whether that's journaling, reflecting, reading, praying, scripture, music, just like not even music, but just not being stimulated by other things and allowing my brain and my body to be calm. So in a perfect world, I would get up way before my kids and finish all this and drink my coffee in silence. But sometimes it does happen in the middle of the day where it's not completely quiet, but instead of choosing to do activities, I choose to I'm going to take this moment to do something that recharges me and not have to be working, if you know what I'm saying. So these 3 things I promise you, will help you be more mindful, will help reduce the overwhelm, will help just get into this place of deep breaths, right? And just resetting and recharging by really helping your mind do that, right? So first hydration was yes, mind and body movements, mind and body too. And this mindfulness and working on this stuff is mind and body, but really it is mind too. And so let's review. So the first one is brain dump. Thoughts in your head, all this stuff overwhelming you, Christmas, whose gifts I'm going to get, when am I going to do my decoration? I mean, the busyness goes on. Write it all down. Use the notes on your phone if you need to. Second is breath work. There's different ways you can do it. There's box 4 breathing, whatever, but I just say take a pause. Even if you need to talk this out, pause, breathe, reset. Pause, breathe, reset. If you need to just do those 3 simple, say those 3 simple things and do that, I'm telling you, do that at least a few times. It's going to super help in a really great way. I sound like my kids, super. And then the third is if you can have moments of just recharging by a silence or a reflective activity or reading or just drinking a cup of a hot tea or coffee in silence. I just think, again, we're doing so much with our hands and we're thinking so much. Let me tell you, not doing anything and not thinking anything could be the best way you could recharge. All right. So I hope those are helpful. Hope those just give you some ideas. If you don't want to choose those 3, pick something else, but just do something that's going to help you be more mindful and reduce the overwhelm and be more present. Okay. So go ahead, go to the link below, download the Reset and Recharge Challenge and just start. Like, don't even think like, oh, I need to start on Monday. I need to start the new month. Just start. And then if you could just pick up where you left off too. Like, you know what I mean? Like I started at the beginning of November and I've been doing them. I just haven't ticked them off. I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm just picking up from now. Like, don't worry about starting, stopping. I'm just not in that season where you got to do 21 days perfect. Just start again. Every moment is a new chance. Okay. So reset and recharge. You can do it at any moment. Grab it. Join the Facebook group, the 10-Minute Wellness Community, so we can cheer each other on. And I'll have like posts there in a guide that you can go and just share how that particular habit's been going. And then stay tuned for the next 2 episodes where I'm going to share more about the other 2 habits. And then lastly, special cool offer coming. If you haven't noticed, I've been rebranding and just got so much clarity after 10 years really figuring out it is this 10-minute wellness stuff that has changed my health and so many of the clients I've worked with. I'm just not rebranding. Rebranding, but like reworking all of my offers, free and paid, so that they serve moms best, any busy mom, which is a mom, and really can support you. So stay tuned for an offer coming, a coaching work offer to really support you. Okay. I will see you in the Facebook community, or you can connect on Instagram with me, Brianna.Wilkerson. And I can't wait to hear how you're resetting and recharging.